It is 15 minutes after 10 o'clock. You're having brunch with the executive chairman of the Caribbean Prestige Foundation, the hosts of the International Soca Monarch competition, Mr. Peter Scoon. We're talking about the conflation in one area of the groovy soca, but we're talking about the soca competition in general. There is this feeling that if as we agreed earlier, and many who are in the business will tell you, you cannot judge art. You cannot judge music, not really accurately, but you must, because a competition is a competition, so there's criteria. Folks are wondering that if you are conflating, as you have, we're now going to have one soca competition. Mm-hmm. Are the criteria, are going to be different here? I mean, in the sense that you say for audience participation, it will be 15, for originality, 10, that sort of thing. Is the criteria changing?
Not really. Even for, let's take, I don't have the exact, I don't really focus on the judges' criteria. There's another team that really focuses on that.
Okay.
But let's take crowd participation. The judges have to focus on what? If it is a fast tune that people jumping in the air, and judge it. If it's a slow tune and people are dancing to it, I don't see a difference. I personally don't see a difference in judging it.
But I have heard you before make the very good point that it is, and I know you made your point, you divorced yourself from the judges, but it is a very good point I recall you making, that it is very difficult for a judge to be sitting down doing judging, 40,000 people screaming at a hot power soca, and you've got the same 40,000 participating, but they're not screaming. It's kind of difficult for a judge when you get down to the
But they may be
score sheet.
dancing.
Yeah, they may be dancing, but they're not screaming and
Not
hollering
screaming.
and waving and
Yeah.
stuff. But I see.
Yeah.
But it does not make
And
it.
as far as I know, the points are very minimal for that category.
Some entertainers, particularly Fair and Lion, is very much at variance with this decision to conflate this situation. Is that something you want to comment on at all?
Fayan is my good friend.
Yes.
One. The comments. Well, which Fayan story? There's a Fayan story out of Soca and Mocha, and then there's a Fayan story written by a reporter from a newspaper.
That is true.
And both are different. I saw
Which
the video.
Fayan?
I saw the video of Fayan's comments from Soca and Mocha, and none of it. It's totally different from the story that was written by the reporter.
You found nothing offensive in the one that you saw.
Fayan is 100% in support of Soca Monarch. She's 100% in support of the competition as one. And her comments, Fayan's words is that she's not against power soca or groovy soca. She's not against the one competition. She's just making a comment about all the stories that are out there that power soca is dead. Power soca is not dead. It's just that the artists are writing it less and less, but it's not dead. That's what Fayan was trying to express.
And from what you saw, not from what you read, you have no problem with the points that she raised.
No, I don't.
All right. Talking about, I want to stay with the competition itself, because I went down there last year at your kind invitation, and I was down there. He didn't give me the ticket. Anyway, so I was down there.
Free,
but
yeah.
I got you don't have to say that. I came in as media. Stop it. But I got down there after about 20 years. And of course, if it's after 20 years, then I had not seen where it's broken into two, because it has not been 20 years. And I got in there and I had the one problem. And while we understand that you're going to record it and you're going to package it for television, those who attend the competition, it gets boring like crazy, and it gets boring not because of the entertainment, not because of the artists, because of the long spaces we're talking about. You've got 20 minutes of nothing. You were very kind when you said 10 minutes. I counted for almost in between every act. I had like a 20 minutes wait, and because the props had to be taken off, and then the props are not too sure who is propping on and who's propping off, which is to say what belonged to what band, because they're meeting on the same ramp. And that's really confusing. Is there, and I come back to your organization, not some blame that must be absorbed and sought to be corrected what seems like the mismanagement of the stage. I mean, to make this more entertaining for those who are paying the money, because you want them in the place. I mean, we need them. We're talking about 20,000 odd people. Why is it? I understand what you said about Marshall. I got that. But if you've been there before and this is what happened, then you work on the basis of what you've experienced before. Listen, we're going to have a problem here. So we're going to take all these people, create an avenue at the back of the stage. When they come up, they go that way and the other. You know what I'm saying?
That's done. The problem is there's no rehearsal time. There's no time to rig the venue properly. I mean, it's a temporary stage. We need a permanent venue where the stage would rotate and another artist just pop up, another set pop up. Things can fly up in the air and disappear. You know, like how a Grammy set is.
Yes, well, a lot of things fly up in the air and disappear, including my patients.
We do not have a venue. Some will go down into the ground. We don't have it. We come and we knock up some scaffolding and call that a stage. That's not a stage.
But you've been there. You've been the ones running it for all these years. What is it you have not been able, because you're not going to attract that money now, but I'm asking, why have we not been able to attract investors to do something like that? Or is it something that we wait for the government to do? I'm asking.
Well, I think the past regimes have been waiting for the government to do something with it. I mean, they've been heavily invested in sport, but we have not really heavily invested in entertainment.
It's festival tourism, yes.
Yeah, and the soca artists, I think they're best ambassadors. Soca is exploding. Trinidad and Tobago music is exploding all over the world.
Music has always transcended a lot of boundaries, yes.
If we don't fix it at home, you can't really fix it outside.
So I'm back to my question. I think in a nice way you said it is for government to put together this stage. Am I correct?
Well, government could probably give us the land. And if they give us the land, I feel strongly that we could find the money to build a proper entertainment space. We need one. There's none.
But is that
that holds 1,200 people, right?
Not good enough.
So what? Okay, $600 million was spent. That's conservative to build a venue that holds 1,200 people. That's insane, right? Where there's nothing in Trinidad that we could put in a venue over 5,000 people. None. Over 1,200 people. Comfortable. None. And that's insane for a country that spent $300 billion over the last 5-6 years, and must see $200 billion, another $600 billion over the last 10 years. It's insane.
You were asking now for the government to step in and provide some land spaces. You mentioned. I mean, where can you do that? In these tough times, when we have a GMP complex, you don't think it's workable to mount a retractable stage or something that you bring in that does that?
It's for sports. Develop for sports and design for sports.
Design for sports. No. That's it. Acoustically, a GMP is a nightmare.
Purpose-built venue. Okay. Simple. We want it simple. It's simple. Focus on a stage and backdrop and rehearsal spaces. There's not even no rehearsal spaces. If you're doing a show right now and you need a space for 30 dancers, you can't find it nowhere. You have to go in and beg Napa for a room.
All right, so then in the long run, Peter Scoon, my guest this morning, in the long run, we're talking about getting a facility built to accommodate this sort of big once a year event. Of course, it will be used for other things, but I'm saying for this big once a year, you want that. But in the interim,
however, not once a year.
The Soca Monarch?
Major international shows that try to come here every year.
That's what I said. We will use it for other things, of course. Yes. But I don't see any money going in that direction now. I don't think neither do you.
I don't see it either.
All right. So we're talking about what we're working with. So we are hoping, and I'm back to the point almost of redundancy, asking you again, is your organization doing anything to try to shorten that time frame?
Yeah, we have. What we're working on, is only one band, no change of musicians, which is going to cut down on the changeover that was taking place. We're encouraging the artists to use the screen technology, modern technology, to to showcase some of the
props.
The props and the cut on those large props that come on, because we don't have the technology to move them on and off.
Doesn't that run you almost
We
into
don't
the
even
same
have
problem,
the
though?
space to put them when they come on and off the stage.
I saw that.
And that's the problem. Yeah.
But you're running into almost the same thing you mentioned. If you don't have the facility for yourself, the time for videotaping all these props and so on is going to prove to be a problem in itself. Is it not?
It's a problem.
I get the feeling waiting between these acts is going to be something I just have to live with.
It's going to be shorter.
It could be shorter.
It will be shorter.
I keep holding up this mirror to you, and you look away from the mirror, but at least you know I'm trying to get you to look into it, right?
It will be shorter.
All right. And that's the kind of commitment I want, that it will be shorter, because I think it interferes with the good product that you put on. I think it interferes with the energy and the expertise of the artist. So, I mean, they're putting together a show, and they're not responsible if the audience is just moving about and becoming restless in between the acts, and then for the whole flow of feeling the event, that too is lost.
And also, it's the only place that these artists try to excel.
Yes.
And to excel, we need to give them a little freedom. I mean, all the fets taking place, we are not a fet, but for all the other events, other than Marshall Montano, which is ideal because he has time to rehearse. It's his show. Right? So he determines what, when, who comes on, and the time to stay on, and the movements of the set, and he uses the screens. We can't do that. We are competition. Half the time we don't know what the acts are doing until late, after the 15 are picked.
Oh, you don't know the song until after the 15th, song, right? Okay. But I like the suggestion, because if you have some studio or session musicians who are there, who read the music and can get the feel of the thing, I assume that if you've got 15 in the semifinals, that the band leader is going to take them and they're all going to learn the song.
Yeah, that's going to cut down on the time.
And it's going to cut down substantially
on the changeover.
On the changeover.
Yeah, but it wouldn't have the problem with the props.
It would also help with a penalty for artists getting on and off the stage, would it not?
Well, that's up to the judges.
A points penalty, I mean.
A points penalty.
Isn't that something that's discussed in the organization, though?
Well, the on and the off, we give them, in the past we gave them 8 minutes. We are cutting it down to 7 minutes this time around. But I don't know what a penalty, there's a penalty if they go over the 7 minutes. But there was never a penalty in place for how long they take to set up.